In a small village called UCHE in Anioma town, there lived a stunning, beautiful woman named Adora. Her beauty was the talk of the town, and suitors came from near and far hoping to win her heart. However, Adora was not easily impressed. She had one condition. She wanted a man who lived abroad, someone who had seen the world and could offer her a life of luxury and adventure. The first suitor, Chinedu, was a wealthy farmer in the village. He bought gifts and professed his love, but Adora dismissed him quickly. You live in this village, she said coldly. I need a man who has experienced life beyond these borders. Adora's rejection of Chinedu became the talk of the village. Some admired her high standards, while others began to see her as arrogant and unrealistic. But Adora didn't care. She knew what she wanted, and nothing would change her mind. A few weeks later, Emeka, a trader from the city, arrived with tales of his business trips to other countries. He thought his stories would captivate Adora, but she was unimpressed. You've traveled, but you live here now, she said dismissively. I need someone who lives abroad. In a nearby village, there was a young man named Obina. He was clever, resourceful, but not wealthy. He heard of Adora's demands and devised a plan. He would disguise himself as a rich man who lived abroad, hoping to win her heart and teach her a lesson in humility. Obina brought expensive clothes on credit, borrowed a luxurious car, and spread the word that he had just returned from overseas. He made sure the news reached Adora, knowing it would pique her interest. Adora was immediately intrigued when she heard about the handsome wealthy man who had just returned from abroad. She made sure that they accidentally met at a village festival, where Obina played his part perfectly. Obina charmed Adora with tales of his life abroad, of the wealth he had amassed, and the luxurious life he could offer her. Adora was smitten. She had finally found the man of her dreams. After a whirlwind romance, Obina proposed to Adora. She accepted without hesitation, thrilled to finally be marrying a man who met all her criteria. Adora began planning an extravagant wedding, believing she was marrying a man who could afford the best of everything. Obina played along, hiding his true financial situation. The wedding day arrived, and it was as grand as Adora had imagined. The entire village attended, marveling at the display of wealth and luxury. But as Obina and Adora exchanged vows, a seed of doubt began to grow in Adora's mind. Obina took Adora to a nearby city for their honeymoon, claiming it was only temporary until they could travel abroad. Adora was disappointed but believed his promises of a future filled with travel and luxury. After returning from their honeymoon, Adora began to notice small inconsistency in Obina's stories. He always had an excuse for why they couldn't travel abroad immediately, and Adora's doubts grew. As time passed, rumors began to circulate in the village that Obina was not who he claimed to be. Adora dismissed them, refusing to believe that she had been deceived. One evening, Adora confronted Obina, demanding to know the truth. Obina, realizing he couldn't keep up the charade much longer, admitted that he had never lived abroad and was not as wealthy as he had claimed. Adora was devastated. She felt humiliated and betrayed. How could she have been so blind? She demanded that Obina leave her, but he refused, professing his genuine love for her. Torn between her pride and her feelings for Obina, Adora struggled with what to do. She realized that despite his deception, she had grown to care for him. News of Obina's deception spread through the village like wildfire. Some pitied Adora, while others took pleasure in her downfall. Adora felt the weight of their judgment but remained isolated in her thoughts. One day, a wealthy businessman from the city who truly lived abroad visited the village. He had heard of Adora's beauty and came to see her for himself. He was everything she had once desired, but now Adora was conflicted. The businessman quickly fell for Adora and proposed, promising her the life she had always dreamed of. But this time, Adora hesitated. Obina, knowing he was about to lose Adora forever, made a heartfelt plea. He admitted his faults, confessed his love and promised to work hard to provide for her, even if it meant starting from nothing. Adora found herself at a crossroads. On one side was the wealthy businessman offering her the life she had always wanted. On the other was Obinna, who had lied to her, but also loved her deeply. One night, Adora had a vivid dream where she saw herself living in luxury abroad but feeling empty and lonely. In contrast, she saw herself with Obinna living a simpler life but filled with love and happiness. Adora woke up with a new clarity. She realized that love and happiness couldn't be bought with wealth or status. She had been chasing an illusion and almost missed out on true love. With a heavy heart, Adora rejected the businessman's proposal. She thanked him for his interest but explained that her heart belonged somewhere. Adora returned to Obinna and for the first time saw him for who he truly was. She realized that his love, though flawed, was genuine and she decided to forgive him. Obinna, overwhelmed with gratitude, vowed to make amends for his deception. Together they began to build a new life based on honesty, love, and mutual respect. The village was shocked. The villagers were shocked by Adora's decision to stay with Obinna. Some still gossiped, but others admired her for choosing love over wealth. The couple faced challenges as they adjusted to their new life. Money was tight, and Adora had to learn to live without the luxuries she once took for granted. Despite the hardships, Adora and Obinna's love grew stronger. They supported each other through thick and thin, proving that true love could overcome any obstacle. Years passed, and Adora and Obinna continued to build their life together. They faced many trials, but always came out stronger on the other side. One day, Obinna received an unexpected opportunity to work abroad for a short time. It wasn't the life of luxury they had once dreamed of, but it was a chance for him to improve their situation. Obinna returned home after his time abroad, not with wealth, but with a renewed sense of purpose. He and Adora used the money he earned to start a small business in the village. The business grew steadily and soon they were able to live comfortably. They were not rich, but they were content knowing their success was built on hard work and love. One day, the businessman who had once proposed to Adora returned to the village. He was impressed by how far Adora and Obinna had come and realized that Adora had made the right choice. The businessman, now a friend of the couple, offered to invest in their business. Adora and Obinna were hesitant but eventually accepted, knowing it could help them grow even further. With the businessman's investment, Adora and Obinna expanded their business, creating jobs for others in the village and improving their own lives. Adora and Obinna welcomed their first child, a daughter, into the world. Their family grew and retained their love and happiness. The village, once filled with gossip, now looked up to Adora and Obinna. They were seen as a model of perseverance, love, and humility. Even Adora's parents, who had once been disappointed in her choice, saw how happy she was and reconciled with Obinna. They embraced him as their son-in-law, proud of the man he had become. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, African Tales Enchanted, and stay tuned for the next story. Love you all. Bye-bye.